At 25, you think money is about earning more? At 30, you realize money is about not wasting what you earn. At 35, you start feeling the weight of decisions you made years ago. At 40, you understand that money is really about one thing: options. The problem is that most people are given the same financial advice at every age. Save more, invest early, avoid debt, spend less than you make. None of that is wrong, but it is incomplete, because the best use of $1 changes as your life changes. $1 at 25 might buy a skill that doubles your income. At 30, it might buy stability when your rent, family, or career becomes less predictable. At 35, it might protect you from a lifestyle that looks successful, but quietly blocks your future. And at 40, it might buy the ability to say no to a bad job, a bad boss, or a life you no longer want. So this is not a video about becoming rich overnight. It is a simple plan for directing your money through 4 important ages: 25, 30, 35, and 40. Not based on whether you have the perfect salary. Not based on pretending everyone starts with the same advantages. And not based on looking wealthy for people who will never pay your bills. By the end, you will know what each decade is really for, what to prioritize first, and what expensive mistakes to avoid. This is peak ledger. Let's build a life where your money gives you leverage, not pressure. The goal isn't to look rich. The goal is to have choices. At 25, the internet makes it look like everybody is ahead of you. Someone is buying a luxury car. Someone is trading stocks from a beach. Someone is already a founder, investor, landlord, or digital nomad. And if you are just trying to pay rent, learn your job, and keep a few $100s in your account, it can feel like you missed the starting gun. You did not. At 25, your greatest financial asset is not your investment account. It is your ability to increase your future income. That does not mean investing is unimportant. It means the order matters. Your first job is to build a floor under your life. A floor is what stops a small problem from becoming a financial disaster. It is boring. Nobody posts it, but it changes everything. Start with 4 moves. First, know your survival number, not your ideal lifestyle number, not what you spend in a month when everything goes well. Your survival number is the minimum it takes to keep your life operating. Housing, food, transport, utilities, insurance, minimum debt payments, and essential family responsibilities. If your survival number is $2,000 per month and a $1,000 emergency fund is not financial security, it is half a month of breathing room. That is still better than 0, but call it what it is. Your first target is 1 month of essential expenses in cash. Then work toward 3 months. If your income is unpredictable, you are self-employed or you support family members, your target may need to be higher. The point is not to hoard cash forever. The point is to stop every unexpected bill from becoming a credit card event. Second, capture any employer match before chasing clever investments. If your employer matches retirement contributions, understand the rules. A match is part of your compensation. Leaving it unused is like agreeing to be paid less than your salary says. You do not need to become an investing expert this week. You need to learn the difference between a plan and a guess. Use diversified low-cost options appropriate to your situation. Learn what fees you are paying and avoid treating social media predictions as a financial strategy. Third, remove high-interest debt with urgency. There is a difference between debt that helps you function and debt that quietly taxes your future. High-interest consumer debt can turn every future raise into money that already belongs to someone else. At 25, do not make the mistake of thinking you will deal with it later when you make more. Later is often more expensive. Create a payoff plan. Reduce the interest rate if you can. Stop adding to the balance while you are trying to escape it. Progress may feel slow, but the direction matters. Fourth, spend money on earning power. This is where many people get the order wrong. They try to optimize tiny expenses while ignoring the biggest lever they have, their career capital. A course, certification, portfolio, better laptop, language skill, relocation, interview preparation, or professional network can be a far better use of money than a purchase designed to look successful. Ask one question before spending. Will this make me more capable, more employable, healthier, or more resilient? If the answer is yes, It may be an investment in your future self. If the answer is it will make people think I am doing well, be more careful. At 25, you are allowed to enjoy your money. You do not have to live like a monk. But build a system that lets you enjoy it without financing an image. Try a simple split: essentials, future you, and present you. Your percentages will depend on income and location, but every paycheck should include all three categories. Pay your bills, put something towards stability and investing, then deliberately keep a guilt-free amount for life now, because a plan you can follow is more powerful than a perfect plan you resent. At 25, stabilize gives eliminate expensive debt, gives build skills, gives invest consistently. And one more thing, do not compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's family wealth, lucky timing, or edited highlight reel. Your target at 25 is not to look established. It is to become hard to knock over. 30 is often when money becomes more emotional. Your friends may be buying homes. Weddings and children may enter the picture. Parents may need help. Your career could be improving, but your expenses are improving right alongside it. This is the decade when many people start earning more and feel less wealthy than ever. Why? Because income without a system disappears at a higher level. At 30, your job is to turn your income into a machine that works even when you are busy, tired, or tempted to spend, like every raise is permanent. Start by automating the important decisions. When your paycheck arrives, money should have jobs before it has a chance to become random spending. A portion goes to essentials. A portion goes to emergency savings until your target is funded. A portion goes to long-term investing or retirement accounts. A portion goes to known future expenses: annual insurance, travel, repairs, gifts, medical costs, school fees, or a future home move. That last category matters more than people think. Most financial emergencies are not truly unexpected. Car maintenance, annual bills, birthdays, holidays, moving costs, and replacing a phone are predictable. They only feel like emergencies because they were not included in the monthly plan. Create sinking funds, separate buckets for expenses you know will arrive. This small habit prevents you from raiding savings or borrowing every time normal life happens. At 30, you should also know your net worth. It's not because a number defines your worth as a person, but because you cannot improve what you refuse to measure. Once a quarter, write down what you own, what you owe, and what changed. Assets may include cash, retirement accounts, investments, and property equity. Liabilities include loans, credit cards, and other debts. The trend matters more than one single number. If it is moving upward, you are building. If it is flat, investigate. If it is falling, do not panic, but do not ignore it either. This is also the age to protect yourself from lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation is not always buying designer clothes or sports cars. Sometimes it looks responsible. A larger apartment because you deserve space. A more expensive neighborhood because everyone at work lives there. A car payment that feels manageable. Subscription services, convenience food, upgraded travel, and recurring costs that arrive one by one. None of these choices are automatically bad. The danger is making several upgrades at once, then discovering your higher income has produced no extra freedom. Here is a useful rule. When your income rises, decide in advance where the raise goes. You might choose a split between lifestyle, debt reduction, emergency savings, and long-term investing. The exact ratio is personal. The decision before the money arrives is what keeps the raise from vanishing. At 30, review insurance and housing with the full cost in mind. Coverage should match your responsibilities. Housing should still leave room for saving, investing, and flexibility. A house that consumes every dollar may look like progress while making your life less flexible. By 30, you should begin defining your personal version of enough. Enough is not a fixed number. It is a boundary. It tells you how much lifestyle you actually want before every new dollar gets assigned to more consumption. Maybe enough means a modest home, no consumer debt, a yearly trip, and the ability to help your parents. Maybe it means living in a high-cost city to pursue meaningful work. Maybe it means keeping your lifestyle modest so you can leave full-time work earlier. There is no universal answer. But without your answer, the market will sell you one. At 30, automate gives measure net worth, gives fund known costs, gives resist automatic lifestyle upgrades. At 30, the goal is no longer just earning. It is making your money behave on purpose. At 35, life can look more stable from the outside. You may have a better title, a better home, a partner, children, a business, or a stronger income. But this is also the age when financial pressure gets more complex. You may be paying for childcare while thinking about retirement, supporting parents while building your own household, carrying a mortgage while wondering if your job will still exist in 5 years. This is where the gap between looking successful and being secure becomes obvious. A person can earn a strong income and still have no margin. Another person can earn less, keep their fixed costs low, and have far more freedom. At 35, your mission is to protect margin. Margin is the space between what you earn and what your life requires. It is the gap that allows you to handle a job change, a family emergency, a market downturn, or a decision to take a different path. The first step is to audit your fixed costs. Look at everything that would still be due if your income dropped tomorrow: housing, debt payments, insurance, tuition, subscriptions, vehicle costs, childcare, memberships, and family obligations. Then ask a hard question. How much of my life is locked in? The more of your income that is committed before the month even begins, the less freedom you have. This does not mean you need to cut every joy. It means you should understand which commitments are silently controlling your future choices. At 35, high earners are especially vulnerable to this. Their spending often rises to match their social circle, workplace expectations, and family lifestyle. The result is a polished life with no exit door. Build the exit door before you need it. That means maintaining a larger cash buffer if your responsibilities have grown. It means keeping your professional skills current. It means avoiding debt for things that lose value quickly. And it means continuing to invest even when life feels too busy to think about it. This is also a good time to make investing less emotional. The more money you accumulate, the more headlines will try to provoke you. A market decline will make you want to sell. A rally will make you want to chase. A friend's hot tip will make your steady plan feel boring. Boring is often useful. Create an investment policy for yourself. What you invest in, how often you contribute, how you rebalance, and what conditions would actually justify changing the plan. Write it down when markets are calm. That way, you are less likely to make expensive decisions when emotions are high. Depending on where you live, this may also be the point to get professional tax, state or insurance advice. Advice if you have children, a business, property, cross-border income, or people who rely on you. The goal is not to make your finances complicated. It is to make sure complexity does not surprise you later. At 35, do not forget the invisible assets. Your health affects your earning power. Your relationship affects your household decisions. Your time affects whether your plan is sustainable. Your reputation affects future opportunities. A financial plan that demands burnout is not a good plan. If you are partnered, schedule a money meeting. It's not during an argument, not after an unexpected bill. Just pick a regular time to review goals, spending, upcoming costs, debt, insurance, and responsibilities. The purpose is not control, it is alignment. Many households do not fail because they earn too little. They fail because each person assumes the other one is handling a part of the system. If you have children, remember that your retirement is part of family planning too. Wanting to help your children is admirable, but sacrificing all of your own long-term security can create a burden for them later. Balance generosity with sustainability. And if you do not have children or a traditional family structure, this principle still applies. Identify the people, values, and causes you want your money to support. Money works best when it has a purpose beyond proving that you made it. At 35, protect margin gives lower fixed cost pressure, gives automate long-term investing, gives insure real risks. At 35, success is not adding more to your life at any cost. It is building a life that can absorb reality. At 40, the question changes. It is no longer only, how do I make more money? It becomes, what is my money allowing me to do? This is the age when your financial decisions begin to compound into lifestyle decisions. Can you change careers? Can you work less? Can you start something of your own? Can you move closer to family? Can you leave an unhealthy workplace without fear? Those are not luxury questions. They're the real return on financial stability. At 40, prioritize optionality. Optionality is your ability to choose without being forced by immediate financial pressure. You build it through low fixed costs, liquid savings, manageable debt, diversified income where possible, marketable skills, and investments that have had time to grow. The first move is to calculate your freedom number. This is not necessarily the amount needed to retire tomorrow. It is the amount of accessible savings and investments that would give you time to make a major change. Maybe it is 6 months of expenses. Maybe it is a year. Maybe it is enough to take a lower-paying role that improves your life. The number is personal, but it is powerful because it turns freedom into something measurable. Then review your retirement direction honestly. Do not ask only, how much do I have? Ask, what kind of life is this likely to support? Think about your future spending, healthcare, housing, dependents, desired work, and where you want to live. Online calculators can give estimates, but they are not guarantees. If your situation is complex, professional advice can be worth considering. The important thing is to replace vague hope with regular review. At 40, you should also clean up financial clutter, old accounts, forgotten subscriptions, unnecessary fees, insurance that no longer fits, beneficiary designations that are outdated, documents nobody else could find if you were unavailable. A financial system should be understandable by the people who may need to help you. Make a simple financial inventory, accounts, important contacts, recurring bills, insurance policies, debt information, and where legal documents are kept. Secure it properly. Share access details only in a safe, appropriate way with trusted people. This is not pessimism, it is adulthood. Another priority at 40 is resisting the late-game status trap. This is when many people finally have enough income to buy the upgrades they once dreamed about. The luxury vehicle, the huge renovation, the vacation property, the expensive private school, the business investment their friend says cannot miss. Again, these choices are not automatically wrong, but ask what each purchase takes away. A larger monthly payment may take away career flexibility. A renovation may delay investing. A lifestyle that requires constant high income may take away your ability to rest. Every major expense should answer to questions. Do I truly value this? And will I still value it if it reduces my options? If the answer is yes, enjoy it without apology. If the answer is no, do not let social pressure make the decision for you. At 40, generosity can become a larger part of the picture. You may want to help parents, support children, give to causes, or create opportunities for others. Build generosity into the plan rather than treating it as an afterthought. A defined giving budget allows generosity to be consistent instead of guilt-driven. And finally, do not make the mistake of thinking it is too late if you are behind. Some people reach 40 with savings. Some reach 40 with debt. Some are starting over after divorce, illness, job loss, caregiving, migration, or a business failure. A late start is still a start. The worst financial plan is one you abandon because you are embarrassed by the past. At 40, clarity beats shame. List what you have. Identify the highest impact move. Build a cash buffer and get the match if available. Reduce expensive debt. Increase income where realistically possible. Invest consistently. Protect the people who depend on you. A decade of focused action can change more than people think. At 40, build optionality, gives review retirement direction, gives simplify, gives spend for values, not applause. At 40, the purpose of money is not to prove you won. It is to make sure you still get to choose what winning means. Let's put the entire plan on one page. At 25, build the floor. Learn your survival number. Create your first emergency buffer. Deal with high-interest debt. Capture employer benefits. Spend strategically on skills and earning power. At 30, build the system. Automate saving and investing. Fund predictable expenses before they become emergencies. Track your net worth. Set limits on lifestyle inflation. Make housing choices with the full cost in mind. At 35, protect the margin. Audit fixed costs. Keep an exit door. Invest through the noise. Protect your health, relationships, and dependence. Make sure your financial life can survive a difficult year. At 40, buy options. Know your freedom number. Review retirement direction. Simplify your accounts and documents. Avoid status spending that steals flexibility. Use money to align your life with your values. Notice what this plan does not require. It does not require a perfect income. It does not require becoming an expert overnight. It does not require winning a race against strangers online. It requires honesty, repetition, and a willingness to make your future easier, even when nobody is watching. Because wealth is not only the number on a screen, wealth is the distance between a problem and panic. It is the ability to take a breath before saying yes. It is being able to help the people you love without destroying yourself. It is waking up with more choices than you had yesterday. Start with the age you are today. Do not try to repair 10 years in one weekend. Pick one move. Calculate your survival number, open a savings bucket, review your debt rate, increase a contribution, cancel one cost you do not value, or schedule a money meeting. Small systems become strong systems when they are repeated. Your age is not a verdict, it is a starting point. If this video helped you see your next step more clearly, subscribe to Peak Ledger. Here, we turn money into a tool for stability, freedom, and a life that actually feels like yours. And in the comments, tell us, what is one financial move you wish you had made 5 years earlier? This is Peak Ledger. See you in the next one. This video is for educational purposes only and is not personalized financial, tax, legal, or investment advice. Rules, account options, and tax treatment vary by country and individual circumstances. Consider a qualified professional for advice tailored to your situation.